spiritual session. All right, we're here. Sorry I'm late. I wanted it at the hour, but it's a little past the hour. I had a phone call literally, 2 minutes before, 9:58. So how's everybody doing? Hope the community's doing well. Life's changing, everything's changing for everybody. There's a lot of new stuff to integrate, to balance out. And so today, a very special and powerful message. Master Jesus came through, and it's been him and Michael just like a lot, and Mother Mary for me. They're kind of like my three jams. But really, this one is about your timeline. There's a lot of stuff going on out there, with timelines this, timelines that. What's going to happen? Everyone's trying to predict the future, and the truth is it's all up to you. And, why is that a saying and what does that mean? It's because you're the center of your universe. No one else is the center of your universe, right? So, the timeline, the experiences, the whatever that you have. Oh, I gotta sit up more. Did I like get taller? Hold on. Oh, I see. Hold on. I have my new chair. Give me a second. Let's just yikes. Okay. That was fun. Thanks for being here with me during that. Is the lighting better? I think the lighting's better in here. Maybe I'm going to open it some more too. Hold on. I'm facing west. So, oh yeah, it's a little better, I think. I don't know. It's brighter to me, so now I look darker on here. Okay, so so how's everybody doing? Back to what I was saying. So your timeline is your timeline, really. The purpose, a lot of people wonder things like that, like, why did I come here? And, what are we doing on Earth? And what's the point? And it's like, well, you came here for you. You came here to learn something for you. So why are you asking me? I think that's really important. There's a lot of teachings out there. But the most important teaching is you learning about you and who you are, You don't want to get caught up in what other people are saying, your timeline is your timeline is your timeline. There's infinite timelines, right? But the only real place is or time is wherever you're at. The only place you can be is where you're already at. And so it's a matter of consciousness. And this is why meditation, this is why all of these, practices are starting to come out now, mindfulness, this whole idea of there being this big giant secret in order to fix the whole world. People just need to be nice. Like, that's it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm going to say it in every video. It's not rocket science. All the searching for all of the meaning and all the, spiritual or not spiritual or, material or whatever, all the searching, and the only reason we're having to search is because we think it's like some, I don't know, like some special place or result or thing or achievement, that finally we're there and we made it. And, and the reality is it's like we can be here right now. We found love right where they are, right? What's the song? What's his name? It doesn't matter where you go. It's just like good friends or a good time. It's not what you do, it's who you do it with. You can go for a walk, sit on a bench, with the right person, and it's going to be a blast, So, we get caught up in this search for like the answer, and we're looking for it outside of us. And the whole point is it's you. It's always been you. And, so where you're going to go is where you're going to go because you came for your unique experience on your timeline. Oh, it says poor connection. Wait, there. Okay, it's back. Connection's back. where you go is your timeline. That's why you're here. Um, and the whole purpose of learning to, be kind to others and things, so there's a big trick or trap in that, service to self, service to others. Well, if it wasn't you serving yourself, then you wouldn't just be localized into this body. But when you understand that, the way you treat your world, is directly affects your life and who you are and where you go and what you experience, then you realize that it is all you, but it is a collective oneness, but then it's also you, right? That's the co-creation. So what's the co-creation? It's you with, chi, prana, source. It depends where you go. Like if I go to the Taoist, right, it's universal chi, right, is with you all the time. It wants to work with you, and it'll work whatever way you want it to work for you, but it's up to you to work with it. So there's the collective universal source of all things, but it's waiting for you, to do what you will with it, with polarity, hot or cold, or why are we here? Why you exist, right? And so what are we going to do with that? And again, back to just be nice, and if we did that, we wouldn't need to analyze every single book that's ever been written, famous or not famous, Bible or not Bible. We wouldn't need to analyze psychology for a bazillion years. You know what I mean? Like, it's like Socrates and Plato. Those guys were just setting up a system in order to, make us, in a system. They were kind of creating a box set structure there, if you really notice that. But it's like, you don't need any of it. That's the whole point, right? You don't need any of the stuff. All you need is, food, shelter, friends, family, right? We don't need all this other stuff, right? So what is this giant secret to life that we're all so diehard seeking? And that's why it all comes back to just being nice. Like, that's the secret. The secret is being nice. What are we looking for? And where are we thinking we're going to find it? And I wanted to, I mentioned in I think my most recent video, I'm getting back into this all, but, it was, what is it that you're looking for that gives you the satisfaction that you think you need to find, and who or what? How come, why is it one day you spend one day doing a bunch of stuff that in your eyes is productive, when in someone else's eyes it's not, and so, but now you feel satisfied for doing it, another person had to do it, they don't, because it's not what it was important to them. So where's the satisfaction coming from? Is it coming from an outside source? Is it coming from your teachers? Is it coming from, your whatever, your society? Or are you giving it to yourself? Are you happy for the choices that you're making? All of the stuff in the world, do you need their approval? Do you need to watch the news? Do you need to see what's happening? I got to do a video on my story and just, I don't know, just explain why I see the things the way I see the things, because with politics, I've said before, I've never needed them. Never needed them. Because we don't, as people. We just need food, water, and shelter. That's all we need. I'm pretty sure the politics are jacking everything up. I'm just saying. Because people want to survive. People are going to live. Right? That's why we got to stop being afraid of people. And afraid of our neighbors. No, those are the people you want to know. It's the crazy politicians, right, running around. And again, it's not all of them. I don't know. I'm not trying to say, it's like, it's all these people that have, like, if you have the idea of world domination, like, it's like, you should probably just back off of that, just for yourself too, just so you don't lose your mind. I mean, any more than it might already, right? But it's a funny thing, because there's a lot of big there's a lot of misnomers. There's a lot of traps in the spiritual realm, especially as you go higher and higher and higher, and you start to understand these things. There's more to it all, right? But you're the creator, and this is a piece that people keep forgetting, I think, and I keep forgetting, but that it's important that we remember in the spiritual community, you're the creators. We all are, right? We need to be more of that. We need to be more aware of that, at all times, because we forget. It's easy to forget. It's easy to, this didn't happen this way or that way, What we don't know, what we're going to do, it's the end of the world. That's all I've been doing the past couple of days. I've been needing my red room for a good, for the winter. That's why it's in the winter time, right? You got to hibernate, and I'm going to come out in the springtime. Right? It's funny. But it's important to realize that. It's important. Do you know where you are on your timeline and why? Because you can skip it. Anything is a state of consciousness. So wherever you're at is where you're at is because you're a state of consciousness. And again, we agreed to come here. You agreed to have an incarnation on Earth, right? You're going to play a part, this and that and the other. And the reality of all of this is, it's for you to figure that out. You know what I mean? Like it's, a lot of times with channeling, it's why channeling doesn't try to predict. Like a good, why it doesn't. People do it all the time. But it's the idea that, we're trying to be what? We're trying to be the number one predictor of things. So we already know it all, and so we can, and I mean, who doesn't want to know, to avoid, pain or something, or go over here and you'll be rich, like, okay, I'm gonna go over there because the land value is gonna go up. I just bought this little place, but no, it's worth millions, it was worth $5 when I got it. It's just a shack. Of course we want to know stuff like that. Or was it Back to the Future, the almanac? You want to get the, bet on all the sports games and be a million, of course. But that takes away from the whole point, the whole purpose, the whole what needs to be done here is restoring that connection that we have to ourselves so that we know these things, right? And again, are we going to know this? Well, probably not, because we don't need to, there's a lot of, especially in the spiritual community, there's the remembering, and there's a lot of timeline remembering and past lives remembering and things like this, so what does it all mean? It's like, well, there's hundreds of them. There's hundreds of lifetimes that we've all lived individually, collectively, as pieces of each other, combined differently, it's infinite, So it almost, who am I, where do I come from, where's my this, where's my that? I mean, you've done it all already. And that's why a lot of us, a lot of people on Earth, we feel like, it's the same stuff, different day, right? Because we feel like we've done this before. We feel like we get it. We get this ride. We've been on this ride before, Okay, so why are you here again? It's like we have to take all of the knowing that we know, and we have to rethink about why we're here again, what we're doing and what we're still doing and why it's still here and why it's still happening. Because if you're here, right, so we say in the spiritual communities, and a lot of people say, we're here to heal, the dimensional Earth. We're here to heal, and bring love back and do, hold on, I'm getting poor connection. Am I breaking up? Sorry, guys. Is it working now? It looks good. I got bars. Excuse me. Oh, there it goes. Okay. It's that idea, like, we're here to, oh, and there it goes, poor again. All right, I'm just going to keep going. We're going to see how this works. Oh, man, I might have to set up differently in the house. Why are you, I have full bars right now. Okay, I'm just going to act like this is working. In the spiritual community, it's this whole idea of like, we have to save it all and we have to do this, we have to do that. But then they also say, well, it doesn't have to be saved because it's already saved. It's just a matter of dimensions living in the same place at the same time, right? So how do you go from one or to the other? Well, you have to change your consciousness. You have to change this and your whole being and your heart and where you resonate. You know, you want to resonate. The kingdom of heaven lies within, right? That's why this was the same, because it's within you. It's not up there. It's not down there. It's not way over there. You know, we got to go to, you know, but you do have to get there in here, right? And so what are we here to do? You know, well, it's not so much healing the world and the earth around us. It's healing it all from healing it inside of ourselves, right? Because if this isn't your first rodeo on earth and you feel like, okay, yeah, I've done this before, you know, why am I here again? You know, well, okay, exactly. Why are you here again, right? There's now there's another unique piece. Now this time around, whatever, you have another unique piece that you got to put back together, right? When you put yourself back together, you've put back that piece on earth. Do you know what I'm saying? And that creates way showing for other people. That creates the path so other people can do it too, right? So are we here to heal the world? Yes. But the act of doing so is a process of you healing yourself first. And sure, you always want to be there for people any and every time that you can, right? But if you can't, that's okay. You know, as long as you say, hey, no, I can't afford the tax on my energy reserves today. You know, I'm tired, right? Which in human terms we say we're tired. You know, and then that's it. But it's as simple as, you know, in those situations, just being nice. You know, just not. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to feel bad because you weren't able to help everybody, you know, like that's a distortion. Like that's making you feel bad, and you shouldn't feel bad for any silly reasons like that, you know. But yeah, these things are really important, you know, being nice, you know, keeping life simple. It's really, you know, it's not rocket science, and it's really, you know, but there's all of these timelines, and there's all of these good ones, and there's all of these bad ones, you know. But the more, you know, that all of us just like group up and think that the end of the world is coming, well, what do you think we're gonna create, you know? You know, there's all this spiritual new age stuff coming out, you know, and it's really, you know, and it's coming out in every single genre. It's coming out in science. It's coming out in, you know, like, it's coming out like in every, you know, like branch, you know, new age spirituality stuff, you know, working out. Right? It's like people are doing way more yoga now. Like yoga used to be a weirdo if you'd be doing yoga, you know, look at that weirdo guy or whatever, you know. And eventually now it's like, yeah, people freaking love it. You know, meditation's coming next, right? So, you know, the idea being that all of the healing modalities, right, they're already here. You know, color's already here, sound is already here. You can attune your body to its proper pitch just by using sound, that it already exists, right? So it's like, it's the consciousness, right? What changes your life from bad to good, good to bad? You. What you think about it. What you think about it is the only thing that is happening to it, is what you think about it, right? And sure, something could come running down the road and smack right into you, sure. Right? It wasn't you, it was that thing. Right, but what do you think about it? Right? Did it run into you and blow up into a puff of love and hearts and Valentine's Day gifts? You know, and you're like really happy you got run into it, right? You know, was it the most beautiful person in the world that just ran into you? And now you're actually kind of happy? Right? Or was it the most ugliest? And you're kind of like, ew, that's gross, get away from me. Right? It's all up to you in your head. So the world that we live in, the world that you live in, the world that all of us live in, matters to this, to your head. You know? Like, it's not about going around the world convincing people to believe what you believe. It's just going around the world. It's trust. It's trusting each other again, you know? To live in a world where we don't have to worry means that I don't have to worry about you, right? So you gotta be, you gotta be nice. I don't know. And me too. I gotta be nice too. You know, life is way simpler to conquer, right? Without all this extra energy and stress and all the, listen, you want to go climb Mount Everest? Go. Good luck. Okay? I'm going to stay right here. Or not. I'm going to go that way. I'm going to go to the beach or whatever. Wherever you want to go, just go. That's it. Simple. Life. Simple. Right? But we work within the confines because we have a system. We have an economy. We have what do we call it? Capitalism. Right? We have, democracy. We have these things. And again, so what are we doing? Are we prescribing ourselves to the system? Are we choosing democracy over wait a minute, I'm a human being first? I don't care what democracy is or capitalism is. I really don't. I just want to eat some food because I'm hungry. I just need a place to sleep. We don't need it. We don't need you guys. We have to get out of systems. I don't know why, and that's being told, even when I was younger, that I was so analytical. I was younger, I was less, I was more playful, intuitive, and then you get older and you start to figure life out. So, I think all of us to some degree become a little more, analytical, but I was, really figuring it out, really getting, into it. And, and then I think it just comes to that. I think, you can do that for as long as you want, and it can be fun, but then eventually, it just you get a headache, and then it's just let it go. And it's so much nicer when I don't have to worry about it or think about it. You know what I mean? I think we're overcomplicating life. Oh yeah, maybe just a little. Yeah, thanks. See, he's yeah, really, he lived the whole life. He just walked. He didn't have nothing. They were broke. They were poor. They just begged. And, the charity of others. But, it's he did his whole thing and he didn't even have nothing. Right? And he made it. So and it's okay to have stuff, right? But we have to get it in perspective. If you want, we can live in an easy, simple, nice, peaceful world and still have toys to play with, and stuff. It's the obsession, it's like you gotta take care of our kids, man. You gotta stop spoiling the living hell out of them, That's why we get older and then we turn into consumerism, people shopping, buying stuff, especially now. I see people in the store just buying stuff that they don't need, just going around like this, holding it up, going like this. It's listen, you don't need it. You don't need it. You could save a child in Africa for 50 cents a month. I don't know if that's a thing anymore, right? I'm just trying to be silly about it, but, because, once again, it's your life. It's, nobody should be beholden. But that's the thing is, we have to start living that way. Otherwise, it ain't gonna happen, I did posted a saying on Facebook earlier. What was this from a video, a clip that Andrew sent or posted, and it was if we don't change our perspective, we'll end up right back where we were, and somebody commented on it. I forget what they said, kind of challenging it, but I think they were taking it further than I meant. The point being, if we don't realize that it's, it's the world's crazy, yeah, that means you. You know what I mean? We're not, it's there's a disconnect. We're not adding ourselves to the equation, and we're here too, and again, I'm not saying anybody's crazy or not, but, it's all relative. But if we don't change, this chasing money or this, getting rich quick or, stuff like that. If we forget about family, if we forget the importance of taking care of one another, it doesn't matter what your skin color is, guys. It doesn't matter what country you're from. It doesn't matter, you know. And sure, like, you know, there's countries and there's laws and stuff. So okay, so if you want to go to a new one, then you know you got to apply, right? Like you know, I'm not a politician person, but you know, again, the whole immigration thing. Listen, people want to. We should all be able to live, you know, and then you know, I don't see the problem with filing. I guess you have to file for citizenship, and then it takes a while. We, we just file. Yeah, it's just another busted ass system, you know. People just trying to exist on Earth, you know, and then other people telling them they can't, right? So, you know, what do we do about that, guys? You know, what's the problem there? You know, the people who are trying to live, they're gonna ruin everything. They're gonna steal my country from me. What? You know. I think we got to broaden our picture on this, guys. You know, there's so much more going on. But you know, everyone's looking for the answer. Everyone's looking for the secret. You know, and only you know what that is, because only you are you. You know, I can't tell you. All we can do is suggest, and that's why I always say sharing is caring. And you know, we should be sharing way more, because it's just words. You know, we should be talking about it. Talk about what you want to do, how you want to do it. Let's, you know, and or talk about what you believe, you know, or what you don't believe. You know, we don't have to agree, but maybe something that you say is going to stick with me. And then I'm going to add that. And then I'm going to add this piece. I'm going to add that piece. You know, we're all hodgepodges of each other. We're all learning from each other. We all live in this world together, as much as we might not want to be together or near other people, you know. It's one of those things where it's either we just remove ourselves and we separate from each other, everybody, and we never talk to each other ever again, right? Or we suck it up and we go face each other and we say hi. Hi, I'm Michael. Right? Boo. You know, right? Run away. You know, human being. He looks like somebody I've met or seen. He looks like every other one of them. You know, like we're so obsessively afraid of our neighbors. Like, what is going on, you guys? You know. Now I'm thinking of George Carlin. Thank you. Yeah, George Carlin said that one of the best. You know, maybe it's not the politicians that suck. Where do you think politicians come from? They come from American families, American homes, American, you know, schools, American society. You know, like maybe it's not the politicians that suck. Maybe it's the people that suck. You know, like wake up call, right? Waking up means realizing, you know, you could be nicer. We could all be nicer, right? We could all, you know. And again, and it's not just that, it's so much more, you know, it's realizing that there's not nice people out there, you know, but then it's also, you know, not taxing yourself. You know, I think a lot of nice people out there really get, you know, the pushovers, right? We get, you know, I know I've, you know, been there before, you know, because you want things to run smoothly, you just want it to go nice, you know, nicely, smoothly. But sometimes you gotta stop it in its tracks, you know, and that's a big thing. It's a big thing to step into, you know, in the spiritual realm. You know, your higher self. It's a big thing, because for your higher self to exist here on the earth, you're gonna have, you know, and this is where people. Okay, this is the challenge, you guys, is because as you become more of your higher self, more of your life becomes your higher self. So you have to give and take. I'm burping, excuse me. You know, it's not just like, oh, I wake up and then now I'm my higher self and I'm in this totally different dimension. No, everything comes with, or it goes without. You know what I mean? Things will drop away that you don't need, obviously, and then things that, you know, stick around will stay, or that are meant to be will be, you know. You know, but it's more like, you know, people all the time, you know, we're looking at, it's like science, you know, there's, you know, everything's melting, we're global warming, we're in a, but then we're, because we're in an ice age, or it just began. If you look at all this stuff, there's comets flying around, they're always going to hit us. It's just like, if we just, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm glad we have an aerospace, right? Knock any comets out of the way if we can. That'd be great. Sounds great. Okay. I'm glad we have, people who are doing that, but it's like, what's the purpose of posting an article that says comet headed towards Earth, gonna hit us in the next year and a half? What's the point aside from fear? What's the point of that article, right? Look how many times that's happened with comets too, right? And then like we haven't really gotten hit, all those articles, it's like, if we get hit, we get hit, like, and hopefully, but how do we, we're just going to pack up and leave as soon as we hear about it. It's like, yeah, we do as best as we can to prevent things, I think, in life, and we should. But there's just certain things that, again, what's an article on that even for, aside from fear? We don't need to worry about those things. There's enough doomsday people out there. There's enough people wishing for a zombie apocalypse just so they could mow people down, which is crazy thought in and of itself. But, it's like, and again, to each his own, right? So where are you going? Well, we're all might just be going in a different direction. Like, even every single one of us is different. And because that's what it really is, right? So, because I said it before, right? So if there's going to be some kind of bifurcation with the planet, well, then what's going to happen is those who are going to low, those who are going to high, the other is going to die off to them. Something's going to happen where it's going to seem like that, right? Or whatever, it's that's why people come and go, that's why, it's because you're on another timeline, or something of the nature, and when you learn to, connect with other beings and you just channel it's there's infinite knowing and knowledge out there, but it's just, it's like we're here localized, specific in a specific body with a specific consciousness in order to, learn or experience whatever it is that we're here for, so it's like, we want to know everything in the universe. Oh, well, yeah, 500,000 years ago, there was some people, and then they did some stuff, and then there was some more people, and then they did some stuff, and then, and then a guy came and he said, be love, and give love to all, and then we kill them, and then... it's really, it's like it keeps going and it's repetitive, and so it's really, what is it that you're here for? Do you know what timeline you're on? And when you hear someone say something that resonates with you, that's the reason it resonates with you. It's not about, oh, that person resonates with me. Well, maybe the person does, but is it the message or is it the person? And is it because it doesn't matter if the person is light or dark. You know what I mean? A message is a message. Words are just words. What you do with it is completely up to you. And that's a big part of what we have to learn. We're learning, like, in limitation, how to be infinite, and how to bring infinite in abundance, and how to remember that we're not, the greatest trick was that we think that there's something else that's creating it all. You know what I mean? Like darkness. Darkness, what did the snake do in the garden? Whispered into your ear, right? It's not doing anything. You're doing it. I'm doing it, right? That's why I said earlier, one of the most important things is remembering that we are creator beings. We're creating it all the time right now. you know. So it's not that it just exists and it's all bad and bad and bad and bad. No, if it's bad, it's because there's baddies thinking bad, you know. Like it's not just something out there. Oh yeah, there's light and there's dark, and I'm absorbed by the darkness. Okay, well then go for a walk and be light. You know what I mean? Go outside and talk. Go commune with the plant life. Commune with Mama Gaia, right? She'll set you straight back up. You know what I mean? Like, and you can, Mama Gaia is here for all of us, but. That's the realization. That's the waking up. There's a lot of layers to waking up, and there's going to be, people are going to figure out the monetary system. People are going to figure out the political system. People are going to figure out our history, our military, all of the war, everything. It's all, it's all going to be coming out. But, so there's all different ways to awaken, and then, of course, one's own spiritual internal awakening, because now that you have the reasons why it is like it is, what are you going to do? We can do whatever we can. And that's you awakening yourself to choosing, because there's a choice, love or hate, light or dark, It's all, it's kind of like I was saying earlier, it's all this fancy, like, it's not really that, all the seeking, all the fancy texts and ancient writings, and I can predict the futures, and I can't, and it's just like, if we lived in a loving world, nobody would need to. You know what I mean? Why does anybody want to go back to the future? For the almanac. If we were all rich, we wouldn't need the almanac. If we, again, if we're all rich, then we're not all rich. Well, again, if it's all balanced, it's all balanced. If we have everything we need, we have everything we need. We don't need to figure anything out. We don't need to create groups of people to go to church, to pray and to worship, and do it. It's fine. But like, you don't need that. Like, it's like, especially if you were literally created, logic. We need consistency of thought, and I've said that before. Be careful with logic, because logic can get stuck in a box system, and then you're just emphasizing your own self over and over and over again. But a box is a box. You gotta be careful. But yeah, I mean, it's just. Like, you just gotta listen to your heart, and this is why the spiritual practices are coming up, because what do we say to like a physical world, like the best we can say to like a material, physically minded person on how to heal the soul. I mean, like, what do you know? I mean, here, use a crystal. You can see that, right? And it's real. Okay, so use that, maybe, so, like, but, how? What are they? It's the meditative practices, it's the breath work. It's the Tai Chi, it's the yogas, it's the meditations, it's the Qigongs, it's the chakra work, It's the sound therapy, it's the color therapy that's going to be coming, and that's the more physical, so that's why it'll be those things first, but all this stuff's already here. Like, we already have everything we need to heal ourselves. We just got to stop listening to somebody else tell us what it is, I think that's the big key, it's who are you listening, who's telling you what, right? Think about that. That's what we're all, doing, and it's great. Let them tell you, that's their truth. There's nothing wrong with anybody telling anything. Like I say, light or dark, a message is a message. Okay, what else? What else? Let's see. JC, what do we got? He wants to say that the messages that are meant for you, and they only get to you when you're ready to hear them, which can be at any time, and therefore we will stop at no, we will hold back none, no stops. Yes, sir, I blew that in the human language. I know what you're trying to say. Stop at nothing, right? To get the messages across to you. So we don't care who we use. I'm just seeing if there's anything he wants to say about what people are going through. Yeah. It's really just a matter of you leveling yourself up as often as you possibly can. Because there's a lot of that going on, especially in the light worker community, and where we want to help heal everyone, but maybe we're not supposed to. You want to say, well, there's a lot of bad things that go on in the world, so how are we supposed to say to people like, oh, just love them for it and they'll stop? No, they're not stopping, and it's violating my rights, you know what I mean? Or it's violating me, that's not right. But the reality is, it's not more, but also more so. It's equally, right, as important that you're not the one to fix that for them, though. So all the suffering in the world, empaths, right? Like, I know I feel it, when other people suffer, I feel that. I know a lot of us do. But, there's no use in that. There's no help in doing that. We already know what it feels like. We don't need to ever feel that way again in order to know. So there's no use in doing it in the first place. But the truth and the reality, it's like that's their path in their life. It's for them to pull themselves out of. That's the hardest part, I think, of ascending and waking up, is that you have to do it for yourself. And yeah, you can, you definitely want the aid and the assistance of others, which is what we're here for, which is what the ground crews are here for. To remind everybody. But the only reason you're here is because it's your soul path, life experience, whatever, that you wanted to come here for. It could very well be that your partner, spouse, friend that's right next to you isn't even really here in their incarnation. They could just be it could just be a projection of your consciousness and your soul in the contract, and it's going to play out and it's going to function in this way, right? If you're the center point of your whole system and your creation and your existence, everyone else around you is just another aspect of you, right? Okay, but clearly I'm over here, clearly they're over there, right? Or so you perceive, right? And this is the big part of the consciousness movement and spirituality that, people are going to come around to, but, this is the big gap is, how could this be? Well, because you have to meditate. You know what I mean? Anyone who's trying to tell you stuff and they don't meditate, like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. When was the last, how much do you meditate? And again, even if you don't meditate, there's some people talk to beings, spirit, they're just turned on since the day they were born, so whatever. But, it's this whole thing is about, it's like quantum physics. For the longest time, we never, when two particles can exist in the same particle, two different places at the same time. Well, you're crazy. And then they proved it, right? Science proved it. Same particle, two different places, right? So it's like, is it up here first? You know, how does evolution start? We gotta believe, we gotta go, we gotta try stuff. You know, it's okay to do that. You know, it's not a bad thing. You know, I'd like to think that by now we'd figured that out. That like literally everyone with a most amazing invention they've ever created, you know, was like a crazy. The whole world thought they were crazy, you know, and then now they're like, we worship them. So, yeah, seems like we do that a lot, guys. You know, how about let's stop beating people up, killing people, throwing each other in jail just because they think something different, you know, and just let them see what they have to say, okay, you know? Because we did it, Benjamin Franklin, they said he was like broke and homeless or something, and I reference the anesthesia guy because I always remember him. We use anesthesia all the time now, but he was broke and crazy or whatever because he didn't take into account the dosage and the body weight and the body mass and I don't know whatever else would go into that, but and so the patient died. They didn't wake up, I think, when he showed it to the scientists. Like he had a successful results and he was nailing it, but then he had a different patient, I think the day of the you know, the pitch, and he blew it. But we still use it nowadays. You know, we use it all the time. What else? It's kind of weird with the light in here, though, because the camera's in front of the window. So I'm getting, like, a little dark. I'll figure it out. Yeah. So in closing, be nice. Right. Be kind to one another. That's it. Doesn't matter if you believe in my God or your God or you don't believe in God or you don't. It doesn't matter. If you're nice, you know, and be nice. Like, that's it. Like, of all the believing and not believing, okay, and this is his kingdom, well, you know, there's a lot of not his, you know, rule or law going on here. So, you know, it's at the very least, it's equal. It's a wash. It's, you know, it's like, you know, it's like just, you know, it's not about believing this or believing that. You have to believe in like kindness. I think we need a new religion called kindness. All right, it doesn't have all these rules. It doesn't have all these deities and beings and all these people that we have to figure out if they were real or not real. And we have to figure out who to worship and how to worship and when to worship and where to worship. You know, we just need a new religion called be nice. That's it. If you want to figure out all that other stuff, go ahead. Do it on your own time. But when you're going to interact in the world with people, one rule, be nice, you know, or something like that. I'm coming up with this on the spot, guys. Come on. Serious. I'm dead serious. You know, it was the meme I saw years ago. You know, Republican, Democrat. You know, and then it was like human. You know, and then it had the box checked under human. You know, it's like you're not born a Republican. You're not born a Democrat. You know what I mean? You're not born into life in order to come here and just figure out all the people that are wrong and that you don't, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, that's not what we're here to do. That's not why I came here. I got way better things to do than just go around and tell people why they're wrong, you know? And then that's why I always say, you know, it comes back to that truth. You know, there's way more nicer people out there in the world than there are not nice people. It's just, I hate to break it to you. But we got to remember that, guys. There's more of us. There's like fundamentals that we need to remember and take with us consistently. There's more of us than there are of them. They need us. We don't need them. You know, I mean, you know, be nice. Don't be a dick. You know, you know, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And then it all just goes out the window as soon as it's booty shaking time. 7 o'clock party time. Sorry, I had to put that one. That's a reference to my old, I think I talked about that in a video, you know, because I remember growing up being like the deep thinker guy, you know, and you know, friends, whatever. And it was always like I could talk one-on-one with like anybody, get real deep, cool conversations, you know, like, oh man, wow, cool, I never thought of it that way. Okay, what time is it? 7? Oh shit, I gotta get my makeup on, you know. You know, and then the guys, you know, get my cologne on, looking good, you know, and do a bunch of push-ups before we leave, you know, stuff like that. You know, it all went right out the window. I mean, just so, you know. But it's fun. You know, it's all spiritual anyways, doesn't matter. You know, it's all it's gonna be fun, guys. Alright, I'll let you guys go. I've held you for 51 minutes. Hey, that's not too bad. Yeah, so this is fun. I got 0 people. I think I saw one at some point. Somebody popped in. It could have been the bots, you know, YouTube. I don't know what's going on with all that crazy stuff. Like, we're just talking. Everybody needs to calm down. Anyways, love you guys. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to more. Revving myself up over here, but I am enjoying my hibernation season. So I love you guys. I'm always here. Message me if you need to. And yeah, see you in the next video. Much love. Oh, there it goes. It's going screwy. There it goes.